Hey everybody, Jen here of Gen X Website Design and Strategy. In this video, I talk about why you shouldn't have an About page on your website. I have somewhat of an unpopular opinion when it comes to About pages, and I thought that might get your attention. First, let me go on record as saying you are totally awesome. Second, it's okay to disagree with me and to tell me so. I am reachable, and I don't hold fast to my beliefs because I think that inhibits growth. So, if you disagree with me, fire away. I'll respect you for it. Thirdly, let me just say, most businesses, not all, should not have an About page on their website. In this video, I'm going to give you lots of reasons why you shouldn't have an About page on your website, give examples of businesses who should have them, and make suggestions as to what you should be doing instead. Because it's the second most visited page on your website. I know what you're thinking. Jen, you aren't making any sense. But think about it. Is the About page the page you actually want website visitors to go to when they land on your website? Don't you want them to get your lead generator or book a call with you or shop your products? If website visitors see an option in navigation that says About, they feel compelled to click on it. In fact, they are probably expecting to find some information on your About page that you don't actually have there. So when they click on About and find a bunch of text that has absolutely no value to them, they bounce and they don't come back because they've already forgotten about your boring About page. Personally, I do not want my visitors to click over to a page that talks all about, well, me. Yawn. When visitors land on my website, I am trying to get them to take a specific action. I either want them to subscribe to my email list by getting my lead magnet. This is called a transitional call to action. Or I want them to actually book a call with me. And that is my strong call to action that I have on my website. The transitional call to action is a low-risk entry way of doing business with you and engaging with your brand. All it costs your customers or your potential customers is their email address. A strong call to action is the first step to entering into a transaction with your brand. Therefore, I don't want to divert my customers' attention away from doing either of those things. I don't want to divert them to a page that doesn't offer any value to them or further the engagement with me. Your potential customers don't actually care about you. I'm sorry to tell you that, but they really don't. Contrary to popular belief, your customers don't care about you. They only care about you to the extent that you can show them that you have the empathy and authority to solve their problem. They will definitely not read a novel on your website. They are not interested. I don't care how many which ways you chunk your text, add subheadings. They don't have the time, nor do they care. They only want the details that will help them make a decision about whether or not they think you can help them solve their problem. People don't have time to learn about your history, your kids, your cute little dog, every step of your personal journey, or any other completely irrelevant information about you. Convey yourself as an empathetic authority who can solve your customer's problem and put it right on your homepage, which is actually the #1 most looked at page on your website. If you need some help with this, I suggest getting my Guide to Writing Effective Website copy. It's an excellent resource and it's totally free. The guide breaks the important pages of your website into sections and helps you write the content for each section so that it will engage your website visitors, including the section where you talk about your empathy and authority to help your potential customers. You might have heard it said that your About page isn't actually about you, but about your customers. Now, if you're going to have an About page on your website, then this advice is absolutely correct. With that in mind, why have one at all? As stated previously, you can convey yourself as an empathetic authority who can solve your customer's problem and put it right on the homepage of your website, the most visited page of your website, and prevent website visitors from clicking through to a page that is more of a diversion than it is a step closer to engaging with your brand. In other words, a click through to an About page is actually a step farther away from engaging with your brand. It prevents website visitors from taking a step to either get on your mailing list or entering into a transaction with you. Decision fatigue is the difficulty in making a good decision experienced as a result of the number of decisions one needs to take. Yes, I just read that. I can't commit that to memory. Have you ever landed on a website only to be bombarded with a host of options in the navigation menu? Instead of the website guiding you through the proper channels, you are left to make a decision on your own, not really knowing what you should do next. The more options available to you, the more difficult it is to make a decision. Now, for you parents out there, think about your little ones. Or, if you're like me, think back to long, long ago when your kids were little. You don't give a child 17 options when it comes to picking out anything. Clothes, food, a prize at the doctor's office, what color crayon to use, toys, you name it. You typically give them 2 because 2 is easy. It's either one or the other. And we moms and dads know how much faster and easier it is for our little ones to make a decision when there are fewer options in the first place. They're happier and we're happier. Now, let's go back to those options that we gave to our precious little angels. We decided what those 2 options would be. We provided options so that whichever option they chose would benefit not only them, but also us. You can apply this same principle on your website. Any option you give your potential customers should result in a dual benefit. They get the information they are seeking. You get a potential customer who's actively engaged in furthering the relationship with your brand. Provide only the options that are necessary to further the relationship with potential customers. You don't have to, nor should you, include everything in navigation, especially a link to a page that goes on and on about you. There are times when it is important to have an about page on your website, but this is the exception, not the rule. For businesses where a high level of trust and confidentiality is imperative to a customer's decision to engage with that business, it's very important to have an about page. Also, for businesses where there is a staff of people providing services to customers, an about page provides an opportunity for each one of those staff members to express their empathy and authority to solve a customer's problem. So I'll give you a few examples. A certified financial planner, lawyer, a therapist, a doctor or a dentist, basically anyone privy to your personal or financial information, and businesses that have a lot of staff members. When a business is managing a person's highly personal and confidential information, they need to provide information about themselves that will reinforce a potential customer's trust in them. This can mean communicating stats like number of years of experience, number of customers served, number of surgeries performed, and media mentions in places that they've been featured, like articles, TV, blog posts, continuing education, specializations, and those kinds of things. Similarly, for businesses where there are many people on staff providing paid services, listing areas of expertise, credentials, certifications, awards, media mentions, etc., provides visitors an opportunity to learn more about how individual staff members contribute to the whole of the business and can help customers solve their problem. So as you can see, it's all about making potential customers feel comfortable about working with them. Okay, so do you agree or disagree? What do you think? Have you already solidified the belief that you must have an about page on your website because you've heard highly successful influencers tell you that you do? Have you looked at your website stats to see what the bounce rate actually is for an about page? You might be getting a good click-through rate. It also have a very high bounce rate off of your website from that page. Do you think it would hurt you if you removed this page? I would love for you to share your thoughts. If you found this helpful, please give it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Maybe share this with someone you think could use some help. But most of all, have fun with your Squarespace website.